Welcome to the Beaufort News. I'm Robyn Zimmerman. Coming up on our newscast this week, we're talking trucks, Santa Claus, and winter safety tips. Don't go away. A panel of scientific advisors released last week its initial guidelines for who should receive the first coronavirus vaccines, recommendations that will influence states' policies across the country. So in December, healthcare workers and nursing home residents will likely be the first people to receive the vaccine. Now in January, both the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines do require a second dose 3 weeks later to be effective. So the initial group will be receiving the booster most likely. And then in February and March, the next priority groups are likely to be people over 65 and especially those over 75. People with medical conditions that put them at risk of death if infected, and essential workers like those in education, food, transportation, and law enforcement. April, May, and June, the most likely scenario is that even people who don't qualify as a priority will begin receiving the vaccine by the spring. The vast majority of Americans could be vaccinated by early summer. The Boundary Street location of the popular fast food chain Chick-fil-A recently announced it will close at the end of the month, and it won't reopen until early March. The closure starting on December 31st is for a remodeling project. There is a bright side, however, for those already mourning the temporary loss of chicken sandwiches and waffle fries. In its last few weeks of operation, the Chick-fil-A location is hosting multiple promotions and giveaways. Coming up is the 12 Days of Christmas, which runs December 7th through December 19th, with a new special each day, including buy one, get one deals, with a day where guests who wear Christmas attire receive a free medium fry and drink when they buy an entree. Well, a driver of an Amazon van, apparently overwhelmed by the busy gift-giving season, pulled a shocking Grinch-like move last Monday afternoon and abandoned more than a dozen packages in the majestic Oaks neighborhood in Savannah. Fortunately, the terrible deed was witnessed by a woman who took to social media to help get the boxes to their rightful owners. It was somewhat of a Christmas miracle that within 30 minutes, the woman's Facebook post was shared more than 100 times, and all but 4 of the packages were picked up by either the people to whom they were addressed to or by friends and family members. The remaining boxes were rescued by an Amazon employee who returned them to the warehouse for redistribution, and of course, the driver has been fired. Frank Rodriguez, superintendent of Beaufort County Schools, is quarantining, but it's not because of COVID-19. Instead, Rodriguez began isolating himself as a precaution after administering CPR to a stranger in the Bluffton Walmart parking lot over a week ago. Rodriguez said that he and his family were putting bags in the back of their car when they saw a woman get out of a nearby vehicle and ask for help. When I went over to see what was wrong, they had just pulled into the spot and her husband had just slumped over, Rodriguez said. The man was unresponsive. He and another bystander pulled him out of the car and the superintendent began to administer CPR compressions and breaths with the assistance of his wife. Eventually, paramedics arrived and took over. Rodriguez said he didn't get the names of the couple or the other bystander, and he doesn't know what the man's health status is. Thank you so much for that, Superintendent. And finally, Sheila Fluker from Columbia, South Carolina, began the Balloon Squad to cope with PTSD after serving in Iraq. Now Fluker and her husband, Bryant, who is also a veteran, run a Columbia business that specializes in giving joy to both customers and employees. The biodegradable balloons are slightly more expensive than the competitors, but they will last longer. The Balloon Squad offers delivery, curbside pickup, as well as storefront service for balloon bouquets, yard signs, balloon arrangements, and other decorations. Now, during the coronavirus pandemic, Fluker said her business has done better than all the past years. Despite closing for 4 months, Fluker said more people are celebrating every occasion at home, and that's increased the demand for balloon arrangements. It was actually a blessing for us. It's been a blessing in disguise, said Fluker. For more information on these stories and many more, please check out the media sources listed on the screen. And remember to follow us on Facebook and Twitter at WHHI-TV. Coming up after the break, we'll find out which truck is selected by Motor Trend magazine as the top truck for 2021. Don't go away.